Next person who's going to speak to you for a little bit is the Honourable Jim Karygiannis. And Jim is a Liberal Member of Parliament for Scarborough Agincourt. And on October 14th, 2008, he was re-elected for a 7th consecutive term with 57% of the popular vote. He was first elected to the House of Commons in 1988, and Jim celebrated his 20th anniversary as a Member of Parliament on November 21st, 2008. Welcome, Jim. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I've been working on the Sri Lankan issue and the file, I think, since probably the second day that I was elected. It has been a bit of a rocky road. We've seen some results that have come in the last few days. Some people are concerned about what is happening in Sri Lanka right now. For the last 30 years, even more, you have people that have been displaced, be it the LTTE, be it the army, be it the tsunami, be it the war that just happened right now. People have lost their homes. Little ones have no school to go to. I had the opportunity to visit Sri Lanka right after the tsunami, and I did cross the IRC line, and I went into the LTTE controlled territory. And I met with ordinary people as well as the leadership of the LTTE, the political leadership. And I had an opportunity in some of these areas to play cricket with the young ones. I'm not sure if those young ones are still alive. I'm not sure if the cricket field is still there. I cannot but forget a young lady. She was about 2.5 in Molativu, just at the church. She was there with her parents, had survived the tsunami, and I sort of grabbed her in my hands and, you know, thinking of my kids, my 5 daughters, if they were in a situation like this. And I sort of smiled at her, and she sort of kissed me on the cheek. I'm not sure if that girl is alive, her parents are alive. And this is what I guess sometimes it keeps you going. The place is certainly a mess. I'm not going to sit here and support this side or that side. But the one thing that we need to understand, the international community must come to the aid of the people that were displaced. And the international community, starting right here in Canada, starting with you here tonight, must reassure the people in that particular part of the world that we have not forgotten them. The war is over, or so they say. Maybe the cameras will leave tomorrow. When the cameras leave, the people are still there. The work that we're doing here tonight, the work that my good friend Raul has done over the years, not just only in Sri Lanka. I had an opportunity to visit him in other areas. I went with him in Bangladesh just after a couple of days from Cyclone Sadir. They were the only team, and I'm very proud to say this, they're the only team from Canada that went to China a year ago. Maybe a few days, give or take, either side. They were in China right after the earthquake. I had an opportunity to visit China and met some of the people that they worked with, and I tell you, I heard nothing else but good comments about them. So as we sort of focus on Sri Lanka, I've called on the government to do a couple of things, and I hope that you will join me by putting pen to paper and writing to the Prime Minister. The other thing that we must ask for, especially for Sri Lanka, is that an international team, supported by the United Nations, does go in and investigate what happened there. I know that Mrs. Pillai and UNAIDS, United Nations Human Rights Commissioner, asked for that. It was very unfortunate that Canada did not support that request. But in going back to what we're here tonight, I want to say thank you, especially to David Singh and the Quantum team, Quantum Express, for coming with you and saying that, look, we're here to support what is happening in Sri Lanka, and I'm sure that David will talk more about the Quantum Express and what they're doing, but certainly your support, sir, is greatly appreciated. I just wish that other corporate citizens step up to the plate and do this. Gord, you and I had the opportunity to meet in Sri Lanka when I was there for tsunami, and I would never forget that in that Ampara region, the devastation that we've seen, and it still continues to this day, and you were fortunate enough to go back and I'm not sure if it's fortunate or not. I think it was, I'm not the words that I'm trying to choose. Well, listen, I'm going to close here and ask each one of you, please, to make contribution to GlobalMedic. They're a Canadian registered charity. They're accountable. We've seen their work. And for you also to take pen and paper and write to the Prime Minister and encourage your friends and to your local politicians that Canada steps up to the plate, especially in Sri Lanka. We have only allotted $3 million. What in God's name is $3 million going to do in a place where 270,000 people have been misplaced? Let's not kid the Tamil community. Let's not kid the Sri Lankan community. We have a responsibility.